Hello, everyone. It's been a while. So, we're coming up on St. Patrick's Day. So, I was thinking about doing a corned beef with potatoes, cabbage. And what we're going to do a little bit different is use the Instant Pot. With the corned beef, it usually takes 4 to 5 hours if you do it on the stove. But with the Instant Pot, it takes about an hour and 30 minutes. You'll cook the corned beef for about 80 minutes by itself with the liquid. Then we take it out and we go put in the potatoes, the cabbage, and the carrots, and cook that for another 8 minutes. Again in the Instant Pot. So again, instead of about 4 to 5 hours, we should get everything done in about an hour and a half. And so go get started. We got the potatoes. Go use. Let's see. We got about a pound and a half of potatoes. We actually go use 12 carrots. We're going to use 3 of them. We're going to cut up real fine and use that as part of the liquid base. But then we're going to have big chunks as the main course of the meal with the potatoes. And of course, we got the cabbage. And so we're going to use a whole head of cabbage. As far as the Cornish beef, if you pick one up, make sure you get the flat cut version of the Cornish beef. It's very flat, and which means when you cut into it, it's going to be all the same level. It won't be any big humps or anything. And again, it cooks evenly throughout the process. So this is pretty much the main ingredients that we're going to use. I'm going to post the recipes which have all the other stuff like the thyme, how much water, how much chicken broth to use. But we just go get started. And again, everything is through the Instant Pot. And let's get going. Okay, so we're actually about to get started putting everything in. What I did was I cut up 3 carrots. We also got 2 celeries that I chopped up. And I quartered a whole large onion. And we also got 3 bay leaves. Then also we got the corned beef right here. If you notice, the fat is already trimmed, so I didn't even have to do that myself. It came out that way. But if you see a lot of thick fat on the top, just trim it so you get like this, where it's very lean. And also we have 2 cups of water and also 2 cups of chicken broth. Now, one thing we're not going to use is the package of pickling that comes with the corned beef, pickling spices. We're going to make our own. And with that, we're putting together a tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of black whole corn pepper, and then one teaspoon of allspice, whole allspice. So that's going to be our pickling seasoning that we're going to add on into it. So what I'm going to do is put all the vegetables in first. Yeah, like just got to really dump everything in. Let's see, I'm going to put the pickling spice. Then I'm going to add in, let's add in the water first. Again, 2 tablespoons of water. And you just want to do a quick stir. Just kind of get that good and mix in. And then we're going to take the corned beef, add it on top. Just nestle it in. Then we're going to take the 2 cups of chicken broth and just pour it right over it. And that's all to it. We're going to put the lid on top and again cook it on high pressure for 80 minutes. And the potatoes, the cabbage, and the rest of the carrots we're going to add in later after we take out the meat after 80 minutes. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and the person helping me right now is my assistant chef, Fee.
Hello.
So we're going to get started. Okay, so we're actually about to put the lid on top. And we're going to set to pressure. And we're going all the way up to 80 minutes. Again, this normally cooks for 4 hours. And 80 minutes in Instapot is actually about 4 hours in the oven. So just keep on going. Oh, so I forgot mine's converted to from 80 minutes to an hour. So an hour and 20 minutes. I'm doing my math right?
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay, hour and 20 minutes. And we just leave it alone. It should pop on. While it's popping on, Chef V, what wine we going to have with us?
We are going to have a Chianti this
Oh,
evening.
nice. Yeah, so that'd be a good one to have with the corned beef. So we got about 8 minutes to go. Probably about halfway through, I'm going to start cut up the vegetables, the cabbage, the potatoes. The potatoes I don't have to cut up, but the cabbage and the carrots. So we're going to do that as the food is cooking. So we will come back as stuff get cooked along. Okay. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 20 minutes, and we are done. I already did the release of the pressure. So let's open it up, take a look. So as you see, the meat is pretty much done. And we got a lot of liquid in there, which we're going to use. And we're going to strain it, though, and remove all the solid and just have the liquid. But first we need to remove the meat. And then just get...
It smells delicious.
Honestly, it smells very good. Now...
Tongs.
Thank you. Now, if you notice, the meat has shrunk. It has shrunk a lot. So, but still good meat. But when you cook it this on, it's definitely going to shrink a lot. So we're going to put it in here. And then we're going to get about... Oh, well, first we're going to strain it. So let me get tin foil to cover this up. And we're just going to let this rest for a while. And now what we're going to do is strain all the solids, and just so we can have all the liquid, because that's going to be very useful for us. So let me take out and carefully strain it. And we're going to throw away these solids. We don't need that anymore. We just want the liquid. And we're going to use the Instapot again. So we're going to just clear out the solid. Let me clear this out. And what we're going to do with the liquid, because there was a lot of fat in with the corned beef, we're going to take this aside. And let me just, you can stay right over there, babe. Just put this to the side. For the corned beef, we're going to need about 2 to 3 cups. Not for the corned beef, but for the vegetables. So I'm going to strain it. And, well, actually, I strained, but I'm going to put it through a defatter. And we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes so the fat can separate. And we're going to use about 2, probably 3 cups just to fill up the Instapot enough to cover up the vegetables. Now, for the rest of the liquid that we get left, we're going to pour it in with the corned beef. Not all of it, just enough to kind of cover the...
To keep it juicy.
Yeah, keep it juicy. We want to just keep it moist. Yeah, that should be enough. Yeah, just want to make sure it's juicy. And even the leftover juice that I have right now, we're not going to throw it away, because if we have any leftovers, we could actually add the liquid with the leftovers and heat up the food. And that way, the flavor would marinate with the meat, but also kind of keep it moist as well as reheat the food. So we're going to keep this. But we're just going to let this sit for about 5 minutes so the fat could separate from the rest of the juice. And we're going to use 2 cups, probably 3, to put back in the Instant Pot. We're going to put the vegetables in. We got carrots. We got a head of cabbage, of which I cut up into 8 pieces. Each one probably about inch to inch, 2 inches wide. And then we got the potatoes. And we're going to put that in with 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're going to put on 8 minutes on the Instant Pot. And then we'll be done and ready to eat.
But you're gonna have to put that beef back in with the veggies, right?
No, once the vegetables finish cooking, we put the vegetables all in here as much as we cook it.
You put it in the casserole.
Yeah, so the meat is done. We're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to slice it into I think they said 1/4 inches and slice.
You're going to slice it.
Slice it good.
Slice, okay.
Yeah, so we will be back. Okay, so we loaded up the Instant Pot with all our vegetables. Beneath there, we have the potatoes, and then we got all the cabbage and also the carrots. Now, what I'm going to do is pour in first 2 cups of the broth that we cooked with. And I think we're going to use another 2 cups as well, because one thing about a cabbage is kind of a lot. I may have a little bit more cabbage than the 2 pounds they mentioned. So, but that's okay because we got a lot of broth. So I'm going to put in 4 cups of broth. All right, perfect. And next, we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of butter. Just put that on top because it's just going to melt all over. And next, we are going to go ahead and put on the top of the Instant Pot. And we're going to set the Instant Pot to 8 minutes. And 8 minutes is pretty much about 30 minutes on the stove. And one thing I just want to show is that we still got a lot of liquid left. And again, we could save this for tomorrow when we heat up our leftovers. But for now, just go close the lid and set the timer to for pressure and put it all the way down to 8 minutes. And again, 8 minutes is probably about 30 minutes if this was on the stove. We just want to cook the vegetables. And 8 minutes. So we let that go. It's going to take probably about 15 minutes to reach pressure. Then after that, it's going to cook for 8 minutes. And we're going to do a quick release. And we're going to start cutting up the meat and start eating.
All right.
Okay, 8 minutes have passed. So let me take the lid off. And look at all that cabbage.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It smells delicious.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Ooh.
So what I'm going to do is take all the vegetables out. I brought in another dish, so because I think we're going to have an overflow. So let me just pick this off. And add some of the, oh yeah, it's nice and tender. Mm. So again, we had this in for about 8 minutes. Yeah, that's why I figured we're going to have a lot of vegetables in here.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, very good. So that's why I brought the other dish platter, just to be on the safe side. And what I'm going to do, because it's going to take a little bit of time, is take out all the vegetables. And next time we come back, I want to cut the meat. And we will be eating soon. And just want to mention again, keep the liquid, especially the vegetable liquid that's in here. Just put it in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator. You could use it again when you heat up the food. So we will be back. Oh yeah, look at the carrots are falling apart. That's perfect.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, and haven't even got to. And see right here, the potatoes are already splitting. It's nice and tender. Oh yeah. So we will be back. Okay, so we got the vegetables in. As I mentioned earlier, I need an extra dish because we got a lot of vegetables. So even though we have the meat, to me, is small based on the size it looked before we cooked it. So even though I'm pretty sure we're going to finish the meat before the vegetables, you can have the vegetables with pork chops as Chef Fee suggested.
Hey, your assistant.
Yes.
I'm not the chef.
So we're going to have pork chops with it after we finish with the corned beef. But let me go ahead and cut into it. And when we cut into the corned beef, we want to kind of do it, I guess about 1/4 inch. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, about that much. Because again, we just got just a little bit. So we
Right.
want to make sure we have enough for ourselves.
Right.
And also, Mama Judy, she wants some as well.
She got to get her cut.
Get her cut. So, and oh yeah, that looks so good and
It
tender.
does.
Yeah. So let me see. Let me take 2. We're gonna take 2 each. And I'm gonna make your plate first.
Okay.
Oh, that look good. And then get you one
Cabbage.
piece of cabbage. And I should mention that I spread the vegetable with fresh cracked black pepper. So that's what you see right there. And want some carrots.
Yes, please.
Carrots,
Of course, potatoes.
potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
1 or 2 more carrots. 1 or 2
Oh,
more
okay.
carrots.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you want to, in matter of fact, let me just put this down. I'll make my plate later. And I'm actually going to take over the camera as you talk about the wine. So
Okay.
you want to get the wine?
Yes.
And she's
Well, the wine that we will have this evening is actually the Chianti, a 2019 Chianti, is what we will have. And so far, it didn't need to be decanted. It did not need to be decanted. So I think it's going to be wonderful, actually, with the beef that we're going to have this evening.
And again, this is corned beef with potatoes, cabbage, and carrots. And again, just took about an hour and 20 minutes. And it doesn't take that long in the Instant Pot, but it tastes as good as if you cooked it for about 5 hours. So that's it. And we'll post the recipe so everyone can have access to it. And actually, I'm going to post a recipe in case you don't have an Instant Pot. You can make it in the oven. So hope everyone enjoys it. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.